Can't paint eyes? Neither can I. So I'd created three figures that don't have any visible eyes. That's the way I solved it. Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. And if you're new here, it's really good to have you with us. So if you've been following the latest series, you'll know that I'm making the Mini Art RSO mobile workshop. So I thought I'd use some figures. So we have a welder, we have someone protecting his eyes, and then we have a distraught driver of a broken down vehicle. I didn't intend them not having their eyes visible, but that's just the way it came out. So let's run through how I paint figures. First of all, I've got a rolled up bit of cardboard, just taped up into a roll, and then it's got all these really nice holes at the top to put cocktail sticks in and just dry, allow paint to dry without having to put anything on the bench. So I thought that was a really handy tip, just to show you how I work. Okay, so we'll start with, I'll just show you how I do the standing up figure. If you don't know how I make these figures, then I will put a link at the top here. But they are 3D printed using the help of ChatGPT or AI. And I start off with just a coat of black primer. This allows the paint to bond with the figure, and it also brings in some deep shadows as well where they're needed. Now I'm quite old school in the way I paint figures. I don't do the zenithal lighting where you spray them white from the top. I build up highlights and shadows from just using paints. Okay, so once that's dried, I tend to do all the flesh first. So I use AK 3rd Gen cork just as the base coat for the face and arms. I've never really got on with flesh coloured paints because I feel they're a bit too pink. So cork gives it a nice sort of almost suntan tone, and then we can come in and create some highlights once this is on. I tend to give everything 2 coats on the base layer just to make sure that all the primer is covered, and also there's always bits I miss on the first time round, so I can pick these up on the second pass. I'm using my wet palette, which again I've mentioned before. It's just a takeaway tub with some wet paper towel and some greaseproof paper, and this allows the paint to be really nice and workable. It keeps it really damp by just keeping it in a moist atmosphere, so the paints go on really smoothly. And really nicely well covered, but so you will need 2 coats. I tend to paint all 3 figures at the same time, so the paint has a chance to dry. But to be honest with you, with the hot weather we've had in the this week in the UK, it really hasn't taken very long to dry at all. What I do is on my wet palette is I use a colour that's darker than the original and one that's lighter than the original, and then by using combinations of the colours I can get 5 different gradients if I need 5 different gradients. So you get really deep shadows, one that's slightly lighter, and then 2 stages of highlights as well. So I'm using the paint really thin down, almost like a glaze, and this is the shadow going on. So near the cuffs of the sleeve, on the undersurface of the arms, and then I'll come in and do sort of the shaded areas of his face as well. So I only did one shadow layer, so this is the first highlight going on, and this goes on in the opposite places. So tops of the arms, away from the cuffs of his jacket, and any exposed parts of his face. And again, this is really diluted paint, not wet paint, but lots of water into the mix, and then you almost dry your brush out on paper towel. So there's just very small amounts of pigment that allow the colour beneath it to show through. And you can see I'm just touching the brush on there, not doing an awful lot with it. There you go, you can really see how those highlights are working already. Okay, let's move on to the clothes. Now it's difficult when you've got soldiers all wearing uniform. You really need to try and vary the shades if possible. I'm lucky that the 3 figures that I'm doing are going to be spread out on the diorama, so they're not going to be stood next to each other. But you still need to bring a bit of variation into their uniforms, especially as it's widely known that German uniforms did vary in colour quite considerably. They're all just going to get a base coat of AK 3rd Gen Field Grey, the green type, and again they're going to get 2 coats of this just to make sure that every bit is done. You can see I'm quite sloppy with it. I don't mind it going on the boots. Obviously I've now got to be careful of the previously painted flesh, but again the flesh has gone over the hair, so yeah, no need to be that careful at this stage. Just get the paint on and get a good covering. And then just like the face, I do shadows first. So I've just added a touch of dark green into the mix, and I'm just going around the base of the sort of beneath the jacket, and then into any deep crevices. And it really, you can only really just see that. So you can build it up in layers. But as I said before, there's very little paint pigment on my brush. It's really diluted down to just coloured water, but then with all the water sucked out of it onto a paper towel. Um, so again, just work your way around. So you can build it up in several layers if there are any really deep shadows. And then for highlights, I'm using silver grey to go in with the field grey, and this gives quite a bright highlight, but I don't mind that. And I'm just doing the corners of pockets and the edges of his jacket, and then the tops of any folds and creases. And then lastly on this, it's just a very, very light touch right on the corners and the most raised edges. And this is almost pure silver grey. So you can see I'll just do the very edge and the very corner of his jacket. Now onto the boots, painting these dark grey. I know they probably would have been black, but I'm imagining that they're, after a lot of wear and tear, the leather would have faded somewhat. I will darken them with a darker wash, but for now I'm just going to paint them a dark grey colour, and then we'll bring in some wear and tear. So here is that dark wash, and this is smoke grey, and you can see it's just quite a wet dilute paint, and this should just create the image of a blackened leather, and it will concentrate itself in the folds and creases. And then the final thing on the boots is just some almost sponge chipping with some flat earth. This just shows the leather breaking down and scuffing across the toes, and anywhere where it's going to get worn. A really nice, important touch, this one, I feel. And there you go. That's what he looks like when he's done. Really happy with how he came out. You can see how well the highlights work. Obviously it gets worse as it gets zoomed in. But yeah, really happy with them. He's going to be stood next to the chap welding and just protecting his eyes. Here is the welder. He has some nice big chunky leather gloves, and obviously the welding mask I've done in a steel colour. But yeah, really happy with how he came out. And then lastly is the chap who's broken down in his Kubelwagen and looking distraught and upset that he's got to have a bit welded back on. Again, really happy with how he came out. I think they're all going to look great on the diorama. And can I just say, I think I deserve lots of likes just for getting all the painting process in the frame of the camera, unlike my usual attempts. So you can see that you don't need to be able to paint eyes. You choose the right figures, and the figures tell a story without showing their eyes. I know I've cheated a little bit, but it should all work. All those figures are available to either the files to download on my Cults 3D site, or I do have some if you're in the UK that I've printed out, and they're on my Etsy site. All details down below. Now, some of you wanted an update on how the rest of the build is coming on. I feel like I've done a lot, but I don't seem to have made much progress. But here we go. Here's the RSO as it stands. I think the only extra work I've done on it since last time is the rust effects on the cab. The rest I've left pretty much as it was. So the scene is going to be a broken down Kubelwagen, because you must know how much I like the Meng Kubelwagen. So it's going to have suspension trouble, and the welder's going to be welding under the wheel arch. So that's the Kubelwagen, and then obviously I needed something to power the welder. So again, using ChatGPT, I've managed to make a sort of, probably not 100% accurate, but for my diorama this will do, a little generator that's going to sit behind the RSO. And there you go. I've got a bit of time off next weekend, so I'm hoping to get this finished. I have got a slight problem in the fact that I haven't been able to find any more insulation polystyrene, so I'm going to have to be a bit creative with my base, but I've got an idea for that. So join me then to see if it works, basically. Please like the video if you've liked it. Please give me your hype points. I don't know if that does anything, but it's a new thing on YouTube. And if you haven't already done so, please subscribe. Thanks for watching, everyone, and I will see you again very soon. Bye.